Funny.
Hi, and welcome to First to Third. My name is Matt Kemp. Welcome to the show. This is episode 91. Tonight we welcome Steven from Long Beach, California, and Patty as well from Long Beach, California. Recently back from the SoCal Kickball Open, the first annual. Steven was our event manager. How'd it go?
It went great. It went great. I really enjoyed having everybody down. Very smooth tournament. I want to say thank you to all the teams that participated, along with all of our refs and staff and volunteers. It was my first event to have someone actually get carded in, so I was very proud of that. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And it went smooth, man. We had a great time. Hopefully everyone who went to Johnny V's got their free shot of Fireball. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. And we can do it all next year, try and make it a little bit larger, see if we can't get 20 teams down in San Diego to have a great time over a weekend.
Patty, did you get the free Fireball shot after last week's episode?
I think I may have given my free Fireball shot away to someone on Saturday night. I was a little OD'd on the Fireball. There were actually a lot of people who did not believe I was actually drinking Fireball last week, but Scout's honor, it was a Fireball last week, and that is the last I have had a drink of Fireball since. No, wait, that's not true. I think I took a couple of shots of it at the field, courtesy of the wonderful Thunder Buddies. So, yeah, I guess I'm only allowed to drink Fireball 2 days a week.
Well, good. That's good. Not surprised, though. And
I am not drinking Fireball this evening, mostly because I don't want to sow confusion amongst everyone. I can only represent one sponsor at a time. I would like to point out that I'm representing Savage. This is a Savage hat. It was a gift from Dan, the Savage rep, who was at the field on Saturday. I gave him a couple of smokes. He gave me a free silly pink hat. So, you know, win-win.
That's epic. Well, thanks for supporting our sponsor. And as well as Fireball Whiskey, you're 2 for 2, so we're looking forward to a shot to remember, which if you saw a blog post yesterday, our latest new sponsor on the national tour, get yourself a free custom shot glass, and we'll be announcing more in the next couple of weeks. So it'll be a lot of fun. Every team from here on out on the national tour any winning team will get a free circuit event winner shot glass when they attend the events and win. So
and are they going to have the non-winner shot glasses for people to buy as well?
We will have. That's a good question. We will have the official national tour shot glass, the official shot glass of the circuit, and pretty soon, starting, I think the end of this week, maybe starting with DCKO, when you go to register for an event, it'll ask you, do you want to buy a shot glass, the national shot glass of the year? So yeah, it'll be cool.
I like this.
You can buy kickballs and all kinds of stuff.
I like all this stuff. I mean, I like the Fireball Whiskey. I like that I've got the Savage hat, and now we've got shot glasses. So I could theoretically support 3 different sponsors just by drinking a shot of Fireball in the shot glass while wearing the hat. I'm saying it right here. If I get up to 5 pieces of swag for a podcast, I will officially change my name on the boards from the Patty to corporate sellout whore.
Even you all right with that?
I approve.
Okay.
So, Steven, let's talk about this. This was the first time the company ever did dual events, so one on East and one on West. We'll save Jacksonville for another time when we get someone from Shockwave who finally won. Yes, I called it. I'm very happy about that. Finally, they were due. Phenomenal performance. There were a lot of surprising scores. If you were tracking from SoCal, a lot of folks probably did a double take when they saw the Tinder Kings upset the Meatballs in the Final Four. It was well deserved. I was there.
Tinder Kings upset Meatballs, and Young Runner got a score. So
Young Runner got a score. He did. So Jacksonville aside with the dual events, and also congrats to DMV 18 on winning the 2nd annual circuit event for women. SoCal, a lot of us were out east going, we're midway through the day, it's hot, gorgeous weather in Jacksonville, we're starting to crank through the Sweet 16, and then everyone realizes, oh, SoCal just started. So we're all checking our scores in between, we're trying to figure out who's doing what. And so we get through pool play, and of the 15 teams that went through pool play, we see Sofa at the top, Riot, and Crooked Roosters 3-0-1, which I'm thrilled we fixed that ranking because they're definitely a solid team. And then Gargoyles 3-1.
Yeah, buddy. Finally had a day that we can be proud of. Came to play, handled some business. It was good for us. But yeah, going into eliminations, it was a great morning. Great morning pool play. There were a lot of people did what they expected to do for the most part. Came and took care of business. Gordon Bombay's had somewhat of a rough pool play, but they managed to get it together and get out and had a hell of a run going into eliminations. I mean, they upset Riot, and then took out Crooked in 10 innings versus Brew Crew. I mean, it was a great game. No one is happier than me that someone actually won it because it was getting dark and I did not want to have to go to accuracy kick for these guys. They worked too hard to have to go to accuracy kick. So
we did have one of those out in Jacksonville, unfortunately. And next time I will bring a tape measure. But I gotta ask this. So something we did notice when looking at the scores coming in, and just looking right now, I have in front of me the standings. So the scoreboard, as the scores came in, you know, teams on the left, teams on the right. Teams on the left, 11, 12, 14, 8, and then the teams they faced off, 0, 0, 1. If you look at the runs allowed for the top 10 teams, all under 10. What's up with that, Patty?
Strong defense.
Phenomenal defense.
Pardon? Yeah. Great defense all around. I think even pool play. I came into this evening interested more in talking about the elims, but you're absolutely right. There's a lot of interesting that went on in pool play as well, showing some pretty strong parity amongst all of the teams, with the exception of like Fireballs, Base Kick City, Stage 5, Run Fast. You know, they all had a I believe the technical term is a veritable shitload of runs hung upon them. Haters Gonna Hate took a few runs. Buster Cherry only gives up 7 runs all day. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't I peg them for 0-4?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they ended up going 1-2-1. Only 7 runs allowed. Samsonite, I was way off. I apologize to Buster Cherry. I gave you guys the challenge to show up and prove me wrong. You proved me wrong. Well done. Well done. I'm very proud of the Buster Cherries.
That was pretty impressive.
Buster's Cherry. What does that name even mean? What the hell is that name? What is Buster Cherry? It's got to be some Southern thing, right? Like, you know, you got like the country drawl, you know, well, we got to get over to the town of Cherry. How are you going to get there? I'm going to take a Buster Cherry. Is that what that means? I have no idea.
Wow.
People have the stupidest kickball names in the world. There's no such thing as a good kickball name. There's only one. It's the Gargoyles. It is the most unique, original name on the circuit. Everybody else, you're derivative and you're boring.
Wow, I approve.
As you would.
But Steve,
if somebody else on the podcast with me, I would have praised their team.
But yes, I think some of us, in discussing everything on the sidelines out east, we're just kind of shocked at Sofa 5 runs allowed, Riot 4, Crooked Roosters 4, Gargoyles 4, then we get to Brew Crew 3, and they go 2-0. And it was just really impressive to see this, but also, you know, when you break it down, it was, you know, very good defense, very horrible lot with defense. I guess it was just like one or the other. It was just entertaining to see. You know, can't wait to see some of the videos that come out of there.
Yeah, well, going into it, you know, we talked about some of the open teams and kind of where they stood and where they'd be playing together. And, you know, they were definitely the teams that we kind of saw down at the bottom of the total poll, 13, 14, 15, kind of did exactly what we expected them to do. I will say this. I expected Stage 5 to creep up on somebody, maybe catch someone slipping and end up with a tie or a win. But, you know, they still came out and had a great time, and I absolutely appreciate that. But for the most part, you know, there's only a handful of us out here on the West Coast, and you tend to see a lot of the same teams at all the events out here, you know, and Sofa's played Bombay so many times and Brew Crew so many times, and we've all played each other so much, you know, it's very difficult, you know, to score runs against each other because we know each other so well. We know player personnel, we know how they're going to play, we know when they're going to do what, and, you know, it just really comes down to who's going to make the error, who's going to make the mistake. And, you know, that one mistake or those 1 or 2 errors can end up costing you a game against each other because we know each other so well and it's so difficult to put up runs. So,
understood.
Yeah. Looking at the pool play standings, the other one that kind of surprised me a little bit was Dogtown Super Friends not getting out of pool play. If I'm not mistaken, I sang their praises a lot last week, didn't I?
Yeah,
I got that wrong, and I got that wrong. Okay, I missed Buster Cherry. I missed Dogtown Super Friends. After the pool reshuffle that happened, I think a day after the last podcast, none of the pools were, in fact, pools of death. They all ended up becoming pools of cake. Jesus Christ, did I get any of my predictions right from last week?
I wouldn't say they were pools of cake after we fixed that little glitch.
Yeah, no, they were all pools of cake. Everybody had an easy walk out. Except for Stage 5, Run Fast, Base Cake City, and Fireballs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, the Fireballs captain, the day after the tournament, said, "Thanks for throwing such a great tourney. Do you know anything else that we can play in?" Just went 0-4, and you're super stoked to come back.
That sounds like more of a sycophant than me. I'm impressed.
Well, hopefully some of those teams check out come June 21st out in Albuquerque. Looking to be a good tournament. Not as well attended right now, but we do have some time before registration closes. And I doubt any of them are going to be heading out to Kansas City in 2 weeks. But obviously they have Long Beach to look forward to, or in even Denver in August. So there's plenty of time to travel again.
Yep.
So we get through pool play, and we've got some surprises, but let's see. Sofa has Strike Force, goes 9-1. Moving on. Brew Crew upsets the Gargoyles. So I wasn't there, and I hate to bring up the game you guys lost to, but why don't you tell us about the game?
Yeah, you got it, Steven?
No way. All you.
Well, what's the matter? Cora watching, you're not allowed to give your opinion?
Smart man.
Yeah, fair enough. It was obviously a defensive slugfest with the magnificent 1-0 ball game. I think I'll have to go back and check the tape. I think they may have scored. This is often the case with Brew Crew. We faced them a few times, and it's always a case. Unless one of us manages to run away from the other early on, which is generally Brew Crew, but sometimes we run away as well. Generally, it just becomes a matter of who blinks first, and we ended up blinking first and giving them a run. And we weren't able to score a run. We had a couple of opportunities, but they weren't prime opportunities, and some missed executions on offense. Blah blah whatever. I will take credit for actually not either tying or winning the game because twice I kicked the ball to who is now becoming known as Other Patty. Brew Crew picked somebody up in the off season. I don't think he's played a circuit tournament before, although he has been rounding a little bit in SoCal. A guy by the name of Patrick O'Neill. They all call him Patty, which confuses the living shit out of me when we play him because they're all saying, "Go Patty!" I'm like, "Yay, go me!" Wait, you're not talking to me. Screw you guys. I'm people too. He's a fast as shit little redheaded Irishman, and he's not even that fiery or angry, which really confuses me. If I see a fellow Irishman out of there, I figure we got to fight just out of respect for one another. But no, he's a friendly, congenial guy and a hell of a kickball player. He's horrifyingly fast, and I launched a couple of balls to right field over the course of the day that I thought had a pretty good shot of landing until I realized that Other Patty was out there. So we had some good proper Patty on Patty crime. We had the Protestants versus the Catholics. I don't know which is which, but it's IRA all over again. So I blame myself for that loss because I'm arrogant enough to believe that I was the only person playing that game.
Yeah, that guy made some hell of a plays. If you remember, jumping ahead to the championship game, when they went into overtime, this is the same guy that covered the outfield by himself, damn near. We saw him run from right field to shortstop to catch a ball that was in the air. So, good on him. He is probably one of the fastest guys I've seen in a very long time, man. So he's a great player.
That's certainly not to discredit any of the rest of Brew Crew Cartel's defense. The rest of them have this handled pretty well. I don't even think.
I give zero credit to Vince.
Pardon?
I said I give zero credit to Vince.
Nothing yet. Vince didn't do a goddamn thing that game. He was sitting on the third base line, thumb up his butt, saying, "Screw you guys, do all the work. I'm not getting up until at least the semifinals." Maybe we should have bunted more, huh? If that was indeed the case. So yeah, that was that game was one of 3 games in the quarterfinals that were one-run games, and I think the Gordon Bombay's Riot game, I think that one even went an extra inning for a one-run game, 6-5. Crooked Roosters over Thunder Buddies 3-2. And we go into the semifinals where both semifinal games went into overtime, both of them, and then we get the 10-inning finals. I think, with the exception of the Sofa Strike Force game, all of the eliminations had a hell of a lot of parity. I mean, every single game was a coin flip except for the Sofa King Strike Force game, and I don't think Sofa was going to leave that one to a coin flip. They were a little fiery after their pool play game with Strike Force.
I heard. Moving on.
Moving on.
No,
we don't need to revisit that.
I got those texts. That was wonderful. Yeah, so tell me about Sofa Brew Crew 3-4 in overtime. Did an error win the game? Did a route? I mean, how did
I didn't see that game. I was actually on the Bombay's Crooked Rooster side of the field. Steven, were you at the Sofa Brew Cartel game?
I was not at the Sofa Brew Cartel game. I was picking up trash. I was running the tournament, that kind of thing.
I don't think anybody was at the Sofa Brew Cartel game because that game has happened literally 782 times in the past 2 years. I don't know why the rest of us are even playing kickball anymore. It should just be Sofa and Brew Cartel goes to every West Coast tournament, plus, insert new team with shitty name here to be cannon fodder, and then, just have it be that. Because we're so tired of that game. I know that both sides of that matchup, both Sofa and Brew Cartel, are tired of seeing that game. So screw regional protectionism. I'm looking for Sofa BCC protectionism. I don't want to see another match like that the rest of the year. Otherwise, I'm quitting the circuit.
We'll see if we can get them in the same pool for Circuit Cup. That way you'll.
Good. Yeah, I think they'll appreciate that.
That'll go well. That'll go over really well.
Yeah.
So we see. So you guys didn't see that game, but tell me about the Crooked Roosters Bombays. I'm really impressed to see the Bombays make it to a circuit event final.
Yeah, and if I remember right, the Bombays did against the Crooked Roosters sort of something similar that they had go on against Riot, and that is they went down quite a bit at the beginning of the game and then just slowly chipped back and managed to get an inning where they put some things together and got some runs. I mean, it's almost Bombay's MO anymore in elimination games, which is go down a shitload of runs and fight your way back. The first time that they actually did that would have been in Best of the West 2013. They played Gargoyles in the quarterfinals. We went up on them 4 or 5-0 in the top of the first inning, and the game ended up. I don't think we went overtime, but by the end of the 6th inning, we only beat them 7-6, which means they put back like 6 more runs, and we were able to maybe tack on a couple to survive. This is definitely a marathon team. I mean, if Bombay's had to play a 1-inning game, they'd be screwed. They'd be done. I mean, they'd have like 90 runs against and no runs scored. But somehow or another, they've got depth throughout their lineup and just little pockets of people that can do some weird shit and put some stuff together. So, sure, get cocky. Go up 5 runs on somebody in the first inning. Good luck. You're probably going to lose. Oh, my God, I just described our game against Twat in Austin. God damn it.
You know what? I will say this. I want to give kudos to the entire Bombay's team, but especially their girls. Their girls come through for them like nobody's business whenever they get down. There's not a single ounce of quit in them, and I mean, if you watched any bit of that championship game, you saw Sarah Ullman get ran over, literally ran over, then get up and make the next out. So their girls.
Sarah took 3 or 4 hits over the course of the day, just collision after collision. I mean, people were saying that hit in the finals game wasn't even the worst one that she took all day. And I mean, I know the girls on Bombay's. They're all tough broads. They can take a hit. Okay, last week I declaratively said that Jackie Leonard and Matt Smook good in bed. Gordon Bombay girls, they can take a hit. Jesus, they can take a hit. And high on the list, they're at the top of the list of people that I wouldn't fuck with in a bar fight. Number 2 is you, Steven, just because you got that weird gangly reach. But, yeah, Bombay's girls, they are brawlers. At least, you know, they can take a hit and shake it off. And I couldn't take a hit like that. I'm a pansy. But, yeah, but now, regardless of the fact that, you know, taking a hit and whatnot, they're also kick-ass players. I mean, you know, they're smart. They can lay down bunts when they need to. They've got those crafty, clever mid-range kickaways when they need to. That particularly in overtime when you've only got 8 people in the field. I think the Gordon Bombay's girls were landing more kicks than the guys were in overtime.
Wow.
So yeah, they're a strong force to be reckoned with. Let's revisit the conversation in a few months after they played another couple of tournaments and see if you know, we've got the Gordon Bombay's girls in the same conversation as the Relax girls from 2 years ago.
Hey.
That'd be interesting. Now, let me ask this. I know it wasn't on display this weekend with only a co-ed event, but on the West Coast, when it comes to women's teams, are a lot of these teams in the Final Four going to merge to be that Uber team, or have they already established themselves as women's teams? Because I know, like other leagues, WACA and a couple others have various tournaments across the state for women, but so I'm not actually aware of like the makeup of the team. So the women you're talking about in the Final Four and the finals, are they on the same team, or are they just going to be an Uber team?
Yeah, Steven, you've run at least co-run at least one women's event. I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, the girls have some established teams out here, and for the most part, surprisingly enough, it's a handful of the girls team that's won the 3 events that have been out here on the West Coast for women were Girl Problems. Now, Girl Problems are made up mostly of. Sorry, that's my dog. Comment.
My cats are quieter than his dog.
Yeah, made up mostly of Sofa King girls and Brew Crew girls. So Girl Problems, they've won all 3, and so you'll see those 2 kind of combined. Another strong girls female team is Mathletes. You know, you see where they stand. I love those girls. They got a lot of personality. But that's also a few Sofa girls. They have some Bombay girls on that team as well. So we've got a solid, I'd probably say 5 or 6 female teams that are really itching to kind of see where they stand versus some of the East Coast girls. Based on some of the videos that the East Coast guys have put up on their women, our girls are not impressed, and it's going to be a very interesting San Antonio Circuit Cup championship for the women.
Is this finally something that the West Coast can get a leg up on the East Coast? All right, East Coast, yeah, your co-ed kickball teams are great, but West Coast, our bitches be better.
Yeah. I got to be honest, a lot of the feedback we heard after this weekend in Jacksonville, again, only the second time we've done 2 events, and by no means were we the first to try this. A lot of organizations across the country do women's events, and they're really good at it, and we're taking a stab at it, and hopefully we're putting a good product on the field. But a lot of the guys who are watching on the sidelines are saying, the girls don't want to play co-ed anymore. They just want to do, you know, all women's. And then, of course, I had the guys say, when are you going to do an all-male tournament? But I'm not going to go through that right now.
Well, Walk has done a couple of them, and having played in one of them, and Steven has as well, I think all of the guys generally agree that the all-guys game is kind of boring. Well, it is. I mean, you know, it's a shitload of testosterone out on the field. Everybody's trying to be a hero. It's a lot of big kicks. There's no holes that you can kick to. So, you know, it's just like, okay, we're playing kickball, but without the eye candy.
You're playing Walker rules with 11?
Pardon?
You were playing Walker rules with 11?
No, the 2 Walker guys tournaments, they dropped it down to 10. Just if you put 11 guys in the field, then why even bother having the bases on the field? Then now you're playing glorified wiffle ball.
Interesting. Well, that's interesting to hear that, and just I'm thrilled to see I'm looking forward to seeing the videos from SoCal from this weekend. I really want to see this final 10-inning game. Hopefully,
Hey,
Patty
don't
or
we
somebody
all?
got it.
Timmy, if you're watching this, why haven't you posted the goddamn thing yet? Because Shane wasn't there, I got tapped to be the guy who did the commentary. And I might say, it's some of my more brilliant work. But no, it hasn't been posted yet because Timmy hates me.
I'm sure he's going to get on that very soon.
Yeah. That being said, that 10-inning game, I cannot wait for it to get posted, even if you watch it on silent. It is an exhausting game to watch. It was actually a lot of fun watching Steven on the sidelines, constantly watching the game, checking his watch, looking at the sun as it's setting, back to the watch, looking at the game, saying, guys, hurry it the fuck up. Somebody win this goddamn game, please.
Yeah, I think we saw a Twitter post through the account that McNugget posted. He said going into overtime, and then the next thing you know, and it's like he's texting me saying the sun's about to go down.
Yeah.
Right. It's been 20 minutes since the sun's got to be down, and then another like 15 minutes, and all of a sudden you've got a winner in 10 innings. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, I mean, fortunately, the timing couldn't have been more perfect because the game just keeps dragging on and on and on and on. And the sun's going down, and then the sun goes down below the horizon, and there's still some of that ambient light so everybody can play, but everybody at this point is getting damned nervous. And as this is all going on, everybody's like freaking out like, shit, okay, it's going to go to circuit overtime, and everybody's going to get all up in arms about that because like, screw accuracy kick, it's lame, we should have just done rock, paper, scissors instead. God, can't there be a winner? And the timing worked out beautifully because there was still enough light on the field to play in the bottom of the 10th inning. Brew Cartel scores the run, the go-ahead, the walk-off run to win the tournament. And I swear to God, literally the second that final run scored, boom, pitch blackout. I mean, it was that weird in the gloaming, Gloaming. Look it up. Get yourself educated. Who says this is all about just like blah, blah, kickball, whatever? No, you get intellectual with me when you have me on the podcast. Screw you, Ad Rock. You're out. I'm in. Okay. So yeah, it had that perfect like moment of ambient light for the game to finish, and then it was as if God Himself said, "Hey, game's done. Turning off the light. Sun's down. Nobody can see shit." Which is probably a good thing, Stephen, that you went out and cleaned up all the garbage earlier during the semifinal game, because if you tried to do it afterwards, you wouldn't have seen any of the garbage, and then the permit people would have come after you again and said, screw you, you left our fields dirty. You guys don't get to play in San Diego again this year. You have to go down to Tijuana to do it. Yeah. Can we have a tournament in Mexico? That would be awesome. Oh, my God, donkey shows in between, like, pool play and limbs? Wow, what? Okay, that's inappropriate. That's over the line. Everything else. Yeah, okay, that was over the line. Good to know.
I had a comment, but I kind of got lost in that entire.
It probably wasn't as good as what I just said.
Well, it wasn't.
Tired to admin.
You know what, Ad Rock? No, he got burned.
Yeah, screw you, Ad Rock.
That softball.
How's that softball treating you?
Softball 365. No, thank you. So you've got a winner. Brew Crew wins. It's their second win, I believe, on the national tour. Bombays get to the final.
Yep.
What's that?
Is it?
I think.
I'm sorry. I was thinking this year. Yeah. It is their second.
This year, first event this year, definitely that they've won.
Yeah.
And I can't remember at the moment what they had before. And then in Jacksonville, you had the first time ever Shockwave winning over Tinder King, so their first win. So one old, one new winner, and then obviously DMV 18, a new winner. So 2 out of 3 tournaments this year, some new talent winning. It was great to see.
Yeah, and interesting. I was actually kind of pleased to see that in the SoCal Kickball Open, at least the 2 finalists were both registered circuit teams. It's interesting that we've had a few tournaments where a non-registered established or an availables team has won. I mean, Twat won Austin. Riot won Arizona, established but not registered. It almost poses the question about what's the third one?
Don't forget about 3 hours ahead.
3 hours. That was like 8 years ago. You asshole. I'm talking this year.
I gotta say, because I know
the one time you make it to the West Coast. That was my first year playing kickball, and that's like decades ago. I was your age when that happened, and you're bringing that up.
It's because not Ad Rock. Ad Rock's texting me if he should jump on the podcast from softball.
Tell Ad Rock he should go jump into traffic. That'd be good. Keep him off my podcast. I don't want him sitting there on his stupid little iPad texting poorly.
There's your boy.
Oh, wow.
He is such an irritating hipster. If I didn't love him so much, I would want to kill him and eat him.
Yeah, 3 hours ahead. That was 2011. That was Steven's event, and I know folks watching this episode are screaming at the TV or laptop or however they're watching us, saying 3 hours ahead. So I just had to mention it. Good times.
Okay. Yes. Congratulations, 3 hours ahead. You came to the West Coast and showed us that you're better at kickball. But you know what? You know what's going to happen this year? West Coast is going to send our bitches to San Antonio and fuck all you girls up from the East Coast. Our bitches be better.
Shockwave, honey.
Our bitches be better. That needs to be the name of the West Coast super team. Our bitches be better.
Anyways. So tell me what else. I mean, SoCal, the free fireball shots on Saturday. How did Sunday Funday go?
Sunday Funday was great. The Wave House, and again, a lot of these places in San Diego, with it being my first time running the tournament, it's also my first experience down there. So we set these things up, and I hadn't actually gone to the venue. So the Wave House on Sunday, it is an amazing venue. Like it's definitely Southern California, out in the open. They've got the waves. We watched people ride waves at the bar. Like we were sitting at the bar. It was really nice. Not a lot of people showed up. Probably 20, 25 people-ish. Just a lot of recovery, and then a lot of the LA folk like to just get up and drive back. Possibly stop at Disneyland on their way home. Not gonna point any fingers, Patty.
Look, I need to bring something up, okay? If I'd known there was going to be a goddamn wave pool at the bar, I would have stuck around San Diego for a few hours. But no, instead I get relegated to driving home, stopping by Disneyland, riding Splash Mountain, and going home. You didn't tell me there was going to be a wave pool. Okay, I'm sure you put it in an email somewhere. I'm sure it was on the Facebook page somewhere. But God damn it, where the hell was the shirt you were wearing all day saying, seriously, you assholes, stay here tomorrow. There's a motherfucking wave pool at the bar. I don't know if you've seen yourself, Steven. You're a big guy. You're like 6'1". You're really easy to spot in a crowd. If you wore the shirt that said, you're a walking goddamn billboard, man. Come on. Promote your shit better. Cool. Meanwhile, I was in on the single rider line in Splash Mountain. I'm so depressed.
It was fun, though. All weekend, the bar crawl started off great. Socially, it was a really good environment down there in Pacific Beach. We had more people than expected, to be quite honest with you. Show up to the bar crawl on Friday. It was a lot of fun. Then Johnny B's on Saturday night, also a lot of fun. No problems getting in. Everybody, well, at least the first 150 people got their fireball shot. And it was a great time on Saturday night. Wave House was very chill. Food was great. And it was all around a great experience, man. I really enjoyed running it. It has a lot of potential to be really amazing, and I'm looking forward to kind of hearing what people say in their surveys. P.S., by the way, surveys are going to go out tonight, immediately after this podcast. Yep. So tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. I'm really interested in seeing, some of the ideas that people have to make it even better. I feel like I ran a decent tournament, but there's always room for improvement. So you guys let me know, and I definitely look forward to running it again next year. And seeing if we can, like I said, make it bigger, make it even more fun, add some more competition to it. Hopefully, get some teams, throw it on on a weekend where no other event is happening, so we can get some of the East Coast teams out here, some of the Texas teams out here, to kind of really step up the competition level as well. They're one of the biggest things that people were saying on Saturday from the guys that play each other so much is, we could have stayed in LA and played each other, or we could have stayed here and played each other. So, promote next year. Let's see if we can't make it bigger, get some guys out here to come and have some fun. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of the West Coast kickballers up north in the Pacific Northwest to catch the fever, come down, play a circuit event down in the state of California, and obviously there's now teams in Nevada catching the bug, teams in New Mexico.
Wait, Nevada?
Nevada.
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 Okay, well, you say it one way, I say another way.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Nevada.
Nevada. Look, it's a Western state. They've got a Western drawl when they say their name. Don't be putting your East Coast superiority, Nevada. Yes, this team's playing from Nevada. They're quite good. Oh, and I hear California's good this time. You goddamn wasp. What the hell is wrong with you, admin? Jesus.
I was born in Tarzana. Shut up.
Wow! So you should know better. Oh, my God. You're God native on the East Coast. Nevada. Yeah, fine. Okay, you know what? Next time I do a podcast, in honor of you, admin, I'm going to wear a smoking jacket and smoke a pipe and, have that very... Jeez.
Right.
Nevada. Hey, but while you're on the subject, why is there not an event in Oregon? Seriously, if somebody from Oregon is watching this, get in touch with the circuit. You guys have 200 kickball teams up there. You have tournaments with like 300 teams. Join the circuit. It's awesome. Come play in our reindeer games. We love Oregon. We love all you guys. You guys have the weed. Okay, we tried to get Colorado involved with their weed, but all we could get was Justin Dice Catalina wine mixers and, of course, the spectacular Denver tournament, which I'm very much looking forward to. But we need more like representation of that part of the map on the circuit. You guys all play soccer up there in Oregon and Washington. Play more kickball. You think you'd be good at it.
I approve that message.
Well, if it's a West Coast California circuit tournament, then I'll probably be running it. So I do my best for you guys, and hopefully they'll come out. Come and hang out, have a good time.
Yeah. Well, Steve and Patty, it was great having you guys on for
being here as always.
SoCal. And I greatly appreciate your time, your support to the circuit, and guys, look forward to seeing you when? Where am I going to see you guys next?
Well, I'm going to Kansas City. Are you going to be in Kansas City?
I will see you in Kansas City. Are you on my team?
Going to Albuquerque. Will I see you in Albuquerque?
We're on the same team. I'm not going to say the team name, and no, I will not be in Albuquerque. Kickball 365 is a supporter of the Kicks for a Cure Greg Olson tournament in Chicago on June 21st.
Gotcha. That's right. Yeah.
Another dual event. We got 71 teams in Chicago we'll be supporting, and we've got Greg Olson, Matt Forte. If you're watching this, I doubt it. You're going down. We're looking forward to that competition. And then the New Mexico tournament, which I think is going to be over 40-plus teams total. So the social tournament is massive. So all the teams who are from that area, definitely check out the social event. I think there's 30-plus teams already signed up.
Wait,
and then the competition.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Both the Chicago and the Albuquerque events are both charity events. Can we just call that like charity event weekend or charity event June? That's great.
Yeah, Chicago. This tournament in Chicago is massive. I'm pretty sure it's 70-plus teams. If not, I'll say 65 to be safe. They have 3 divisions, so 3 tournaments, a pro, a college, but it's not exactly college, and a recreational tournament. And one day only with an after party. It'll be a lot of fun.
How big is their facility?
That's going to be a blast as well. What's that?
How big is the facility with 60, 70 teams? That's going to be huge.
Hyde Park in Chicago.
Okay.
Kind of big.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much. Thanks to the viewers. Look forward to it. Steven, I'll see you in 2 weeks in Kansas City. Patty, I'll see you out in Denver probably.
Probably.
Keep rocking the hat, and we appreciate your time.
All right.
We'll see you guys. Thanks, Patty.
Thanks, David.